Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Derek Martinez. A man from Freeland has been sentenced after he kidnapped his ex-girlfriend last year outside of her workplace. Erickson Miguel Dizla has been sentenced to up to 5 years in state prison after he kidnapped his ex-girlfriend Melanie Garcia. Dizla was caught after Garcia faked back pain and got Dizla to take her to a hospital, where she passed a note to a nurse asking for help. Officers then found that Dizla was in possession of a loaded Glock 9mm pistol. Dizla has previously pled guilty to a charge of felony kidnapping, along with a misdemeanor count of terroristic threats. He is currently behind bars at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility and has been held there without bail. Officials say Dizla will receive credit for 16 months' time served in connection with the kidnapping. A house fire in Kingston displaced 5 people on Monday. According to emergency crews, the fire broke out around 4:30 p.m. at a home on Poplar Street. Officials say the fire started in the attic area of the home, but that the cause of the fire is still under investigation. No injuries were reported and all occupants exited the home safely. Dane Watrow and first responders from our area made their way down to Harrisburg on Monday to sign State Representative Watrow's first bill, House Bill 404, into law. We talked to State Representative Watrow today about the bill.
House Bill 404, it's an emergency preparedness. It was in committee there, and we got it out of committee, got it on the floor for a vote. Senate passed it, and the governor officially signed it yesterday. And that's a bridgeway for our veterans getting out of the military to get into EMT paramedics.
Watrow also brought a few familiar members from the local community to the signing, and he told us about what it was like to be able to have them present at the event.
Yeah, I actually had 3 Leschko brothers, all 3 of them there. It was a great ceremony. I asked them to come down for certain reasons. Personally, I grew up with the chief here of Hazelton, Fire Chief Leschko, Donald Leschko. His brother Bobby, I worked with him closely. He is a fire chief in McAdoo Borough. And now then we have Danny Leschko, where he's a registered flight nurse, I should say, for Lehigh Valley. So it was just a good duo to have that team down there with me for the signing of House Bill 404 with Governor Shapiro.
Along with the Leschkos, Watrow was also able to have a few veterans that will benefit from the bill at the event, and he shared why that was so special to him.
The bridge with them and the veterans I had there also is it just said a lot. It spoke volumes to have our veterans and our emergency management team there to show that these two bridging our veterans into the paramedic EMT workforce is something we so need here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, here in our district, right here in the 116th district, here at home. And I just look forward to our returning veterans having employment as an EMT or a paramedic, which we so desperately need.
Watrow left us with why it was so important that this bill was signed.
Department of Health, now they're going to codify it. They're going to look at these returning vets coming, if it's overseas time, if it was stateside time, to looking at their credentials, looking at their background. We have combat medics, extensive training. They go through sanitation training. So much training they get in our military. So I just feel that now the Commonwealth is going to identify their credentials and say, you know what, soldier, airman, Navy personnel, you are qualified. You have the background to serve as an EMT. You have that background to serve as a paramedic. Why go through additional training when you already have it? So I'm very happy to see that the Department of Health now is going to recognize, codify what they're currently doing, and go ahead and get these great military personnel in these jobs that we need here, right here at home.
Representative Watrow's bill was signed into law by Governor Josh Shapiro on November 27th. Mark Dunlap is being charged after he allegedly failed to seek medical care for his son, who police say was shot by his younger brother. According to the Lycoming Regional Police Department, officers were called to investigate an alleged incident where a 7-year-old boy had shot his 11-year-old brother. Police say the victim missed several days of school, and when he returned to class, he went to the nurse because he had bled through his bandage and clothing due to the injury. According to court documents, the school then contacted Dunlap, the victim's father, who said the boy had fallen on rocks. The victim later told his mother that he had been shot in the butt by his 7-year-old brother with her father's .45 caliber handgun. The victim was then taken to a local hospital where it was discovered that there were still fragments of the bullet inside the victim's body. Dunlap has been arrested and is facing a felony charge of endangering the welfare of a child. State Representative Eddie Dapashinsky and Senator Marty Flynn presented a check for over $200,000 to Wilkes-Barre Township Tuesday morning. The state grant will be used to replace the township municipal building's heating and air conditioning system. We spoke with Representative Pashinsky about the benefit of this grant to the township.
Well, those that work here, those that frequent this municipal building will obviously have air conditioning when needed and the proper heat when needed. So, and it's also more efficient, so it'll cost them less money.
Pashinsky also told us about the source of the funding for the grant.
Well, of course, we're very fortunate to have the LSA funds. That's the funds that are acquired through the gaming industry. And Luzerne County profits by over $12 million every year that's distributed throughout various communities that request certain projects. So we're very fortunate to have our gaming industry and the people of Luzerne County benefit.
We also spoke with State Senator Marty Flynn about how this grant came about and why it was needed at the township building.
The building was built in 1974. It was the original system. They've been having problems with it over the years, and the mayor was telling me he would like to apply for some grants. We had him apply for the LSA grant, where we were able to give them enough money to Rep. Eddie Pashinsky and myself to redo the HVAC system.
The check presented during the event totaled $215,000. A woman is wanted by the Wilkes-Barre Township Police Department after police say she stole from a Luzerne County Target. According to police, the woman shown on screen allegedly entered the Wilkes-Barre Target on November 6th and then proceeded to hide almost $300 worth of items, including cosmetic products. The woman then left the store without paying for the concealed items. If you have any information on the theft, you are asked to contact the Wilkes-Barre Township Police Department at 570-606-4791. Coming up on WYLN News, a man is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. Plus, a freeze warning has been issued for the city of Wilkes-Barre. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Melania. Tomorrow it's going to be cloudy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. The sisters at Holy Annunciation Monastery are in desperate need of newspaper for bedding for their horses. You can drop off your old newspapers at the monastery at 403 West County Road in Sugarloaf, Pennsylvania, or call them at 570-788-1205 for pickup. Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Welcome back to WYLN News. A man is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. Joseph Stengel is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office on a charge of DUI first offense. Stengel is known to have ties to the Slayington area. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Stengel, you are asked to contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Office at 570-325-2821. Drivers in Luzerne County can expect lane restrictions this week on Route 1009 on Market Street between Wilkes-Barre and Kingston for bridge inspections. PennDOT has announced that inspections will be performed daily between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. from November 27th through December 1st, and that weather can potentially delay inspections. Drivers can check road conditions and delays on all major roadways at 511pa.com. A code blue warning has been issued for the city of Wilkes-Barre. Mayor George C. Brown has announced that the city will be under a code blue warning due to freezing temperatures forecasted for the evenings of November 28th, 29th, and 30th. A code blue warning is initiated when the National Weather Service forecasts that the temperature will be 20 degrees or below, or that there will be 12 or more inches of expected snowfall in the area. The emergency shelter will be located at the Keystone Mission Innovation Center on 90 East Union Street. The shelter will be open to arrivals between the hours of 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Arrivals will be required to leave at 7 a.m. the next morning. If you would like more information about the Code Blue program, you are asked to contact the Keystone Mission at 570-871-4795. The Pennsylvania State Police have released their annual Thanksgiving holiday crash and enforcement report. The report details the travel period from November 22nd to the 26th across the state of Pennsylvania. During that time, state police investigated 979 vehicle crashes with 4 fatalities. Alcohol was the factor in 73 of those crashes. Troopers issued 542 DUIs over the holiday weekend, along with 10,590 speeding citations, which is 1,300 more than last year. State police also issued 1,187 citations for vehicle occupants failing to wear a seatbelt and another 133 citations for not safely securing children in safety seats. Coming up on Freeland's News Choice, Ryan Prosick is back on Let's Talk Sports. Plus, we speak with Fire Chief Tim Rosman on this week's Firefighter Spotlight. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on WYLN TV.
Lehigh Valley Topper Cancer Institute brings the next level of cancer care to the greater Hazleton region. The new cancer center on the campus of Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is now open and offers an advanced radiation therapy program, an expanded infusion suite with private treatment rooms, and the latest telemedicine technologies. The Cancer Center at LVH Hazleton, offering world-class cancer care closer to home. To learn more, visit lvhn.org/Hazleton Cancer Center.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Chris Kindlefest and Holiday Concert featuring the Hazleton Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra directed by Robert Lagana will be held Saturday, December 2nd at Christ Lutheran Church, Church and Green Streets in Hazleton, with beautiful crafts for sale, a cookie tray auction, and make sure you check out their Tannenbaum Tea Room, where you can enjoy tea, scones, and other treats. Experience the full light and sound display featuring the Nativity message. And St. Nicholas will make an appearance. The concert starts at 4 and there's no admission fee. Check out Chris Kindlefest at the Christ Lutheran Church.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
everybody. This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, tune in. Ed O'Farrell is going to tell his story about chiropractic care, a CDL driver, and how he lost 70 pounds. So tune in.
To a Tuesday edition of Let's Talk Sports. We have the rest of the Sunday slate to talk about, as well as Monday Night Football. And boy, do I have some opinions on Monday Night Football. But anyway, we still have 1 o'clock games to go over because we jumped around a little bit to cover the local teams, with Philadelphia playing in the 4 o'clock window. But we had the New England Patriots at the New York Giants, and you probably could have waited a whole another week for me to talk about this game because the Giants come out of a win with 10-7 over the Patriots. The 10-7 score. I mean, what does it do? Does it improve their playoff odds? Nope. Does it improve anything about their team? Nope. Are the coaches still fighting with each other? Yep. Does it ruin their draft stock for potentially Caleb Williams or Drake May? That's the big one. Unnecessary wins. I know it's good for team morale, you could say, and whatnot, but costing them a premier player in the draft with that victory. And as for New England, congratulations. You're now in the running for said premier player after a string of a couple losses. Matty Jones does not look like a competent NFL quarterback, so looks like you're going to be drafting one this offseason. Will Bill Belichick be the coach? Time will only tell. He wasn't going to get fired, even though I kind of speculated that the legacy's too much. They'll part ways, as they say. Anyway, moving on, we have Jacksonville at Houston, and this was actually a fantastic game. Jacksonville getting a 24-21 victory. CJ Stroud and Tank Dell did all they could, but Matt Amendola couldn't get the leg on that field goal, and he was waived after that. I don't think it's his fault for missing a kick that long. I believe it was 59 yards, if I'm correct. I don't think you should get all the blame for that, but someone had to fall on the sword, and it was Matt Amendola, who is now looking for a new football team. It's just the way the business goes, and it's unfortunate. I don't like it, but it's just how it is, and we got to move on with it. But Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley played well. Trevor Lawrence had himself, I wouldn't say a career day, but it felt kind of close. Travis Etienne struggled, but Trevor Lawrence in the past game was there to see through the victory. And we also have Cleveland at Denver. Denver 29, Cleveland 12. Dorian Thompson-Robinson wasn't able to get it done. And look at the Broncos. They are now in playoff position almost, basically. They're one game out, so they'll probably make it because I don't think the Steelers or the Colts are going to keep up what they're doing. But unbelievable. 1-5, they were wrote off. And as Geno Smith said, they didn't write back. So Denver is now firmly in the mix for a playoff spot after that big win a couple weeks ago against the Chiefs that really propelled them into playoff contender status. I don't think they're a contender for a title, but they'll make the dance. We also have the Rams at Arizona. Kyren Williams, welcome back. 2 scores through the air, through the ground, no matter how you wanted it, over 100 yards on the ground. 2 touchdown receptions, 60 yards receiving, just about, give or take a couple yards, but incredible performance off of IR for Kyren Williams. And I remember when that man ran his 40-yard dash and absolutely destroyed his draft stock, and the Rams got a steal because of it, because he ran like a 4.9. And, running backs nowadays are running 4.3s, 4.4s. I don't think anyone's touched the 4.2s yet or in a while. Actually, it is 4.2. My bad. I think a couple have. But anyway, that's really fast for a running back, and it's really slow for Kyren Williams. But he's recovered that, and then some, and he just has a nose for the end zone. So good for him. And Arizona, not much to say there. Kyler Murray just looked okay in his game back. But, they need a little more help, and they'll get that through the draft. Kansas City at Las Vegas, 31-17 for Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is just too much, along with Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice and company. Rashee Rice looking like the #1 wide receiver that they needed in Kansas City. And if he could be that, this team's going to be extra dangerous. They're already going to be dangerous with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and company. But if Rashee Rice establishes him as a solid #2 to Travis Kelce's 1, look out, because it's going to be quite a time in Kansas City, especially if you go into that stadium and win, but they don't have home field advantage right now. We already talked about Buffalo and Philadelphia, so we're going to move right into the Sunday night game. Baltimore at the Chargers. Baltimore winning 20-10, but moving into pole position for home field advantage, and it'd be very beneficial if they did not have to play in Arrowhead this postseason, because that place gets loud. There's a couple of stadiums playoff time you don't want to play in. Philadelphia, Kansas City, Seattle, maybe Detroit gets up there. New Orleans if they make it and they have a dedicated crowd. A couple of places you don't want to play come playoff time, but they went in there, got the victory thanks to Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr., and Isaiah Likely. Quite the receiving group to get it done. Rashad Bateman also added a little bit through the air, but impressive win for the Ravens, and the Chargers are done. I just want to say done, because they're so far over the cap next year. I believe $45 million. Your quarterback's on a big deal. Your big stars are aging out. Your head coach isn't the guy to coach this team to victory. So big mess for the Chargers, but I can't say I'm surprised. And moving on to Monday night, I can't say I'm surprised by this either. 12-10 for Chicago over Minnesota. Josh Dobbs threw 4 interceptions. It was a turnover fest, and Chicago came out of it with a last-second field goal. DJ Moore getting them down there on the final drive. Justin Fields not turning the ball over, which is very clutch out of him. So Chicago with a big win. Their draft spot moves down, but they still have that number 1 pick thanks to Carolina. So we'll see what happens there, but Minnesota takes a little bit of a hit for their playoff standings. But that does it for this edition of Let's Talk Sports. We'll be back tomorrow to preview Thursday Night Football. Seattle and Dallas should be a good one. We'll talk about it more in depth then, and we'll see you later.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
You will love the feel-good feeling you get when you shop at Grand Central in Nesquebec and Hazleton. You will enjoy a no-pressure professional sales staff, experienced delivery crew, service after the sale,
and don't forget, everyday low prices.
No matter what you're shopping for in your home, we have you covered with top brand names like Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, England, and Dillon Custom Rugs.
With our enormous selection and the flexibility to finance interest-free for up to 60 months, Grand Central makes it easy to make your house a home.
Hello, I'm Wyln historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Welcome back to Fire Talk. I'm here with Fire Chief Tim Rossman of Lehigh Lasan Fire Company. Tim, how's it going?
It's going great so far.
So we're of course we're here to talk about portable heaters because it's getting cold. That's why we're in here right now, because it's very cold outside, very windy, and of course people want to stay warm over the holiday season and the winter season.
Absolutely.
So, but there's dangers about fire. So tell people.
At this time of year is very dangerous. A lot of people use different types of supplemental heat. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. It all depends on how you use it and you treat it.
For sure. So I know the space heaters are very popular nowadays. Just tell me a little bit about the risk to those. Like, you don't want it close to furniture or anything like that.
Right. You want to keep it away from any type of furniture, anything that might be combustible. Probably, I'd say 4 to 6 feet would be a good safe distance. You don't want to use any type of extension cords. Absolutely not. It's got to be plugged directly into the wall. A lot of people will use the multiple plug outlet type things. That is very bad. That's a bad idea. Definitely don't want to be using those. And now that we're talking about electric space heaters, but there's also people using kerosene heaters. The danger, you still want to use the same distances that you would with the electric, but the dangers with this is you need to take that outside to fill it. A lot of people make the mistake of filling them inside the home. Over my years, I've seen homes that have burned because of people doing things like that. And only use the fuel that's recommended by the manufacturer. That's also important, because if you use the wrong fuel, you're just waiting for disaster. When you're not using them, keep them off. Don't leave them on. If you're not going to be home, turn it off. Again, don't use extension cords. These are all very important rules that you should follow when you're using some type of auxiliary heat in your home.
When you mean off, you mean unplug it as well, right?
Right.
I know
Absolutely. Yes. Besides turning it off, you want to make sure you unplug it.
That cord can still get hot, and
absolutely.
Then So, and is there anything else you'd like to leave the people with for safety tips or anything?
Just this time of year, let's bring in a happy holiday, not a bad one, with an unintentional fire due to misuse of appliances.
One more question I just thought of. Over the years, how many of these causes of fire have you seen? Like portable heaters, you mentioned that a little bit.
I've seen many. To give you an exact number, I couldn't.
I wasn't asking the exact number. I was just asking for
But it's been many, and sadly they happen sometime around the holiday season, and it just makes it even more tragic. So,
I'd like to thank Fire Chief Tim Rossman for joining us on this Fire Talk Tuesday. We'll see you next time. Have a happy holidays. And that does it for the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest news and updates on our YouTube, Facebook, or at our website at wylntv.com. Stay with us for a look at the weather.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.